What's up, Internet? So, I had a meeting with my neighbor last night. They were fun. I could have gone out over there earlier. They smoke weed and drink, which is what I was doing when I got here, but I quit. And honestly, having quit, it's nice not needing it. But after we talked, I was hallucinating. Like, I kept seeing, those Akutski clouds. I was seeing those in, neon holographic. Yeah, so that was weird. Actual visual hallucinations that I could physically see, for me, were rare even when I was, quote, on drugs, you know what I mean? Yeah. It was nice. Talking with them, too, made the neighborhood seem a lot better because he knew a lot of them, and the whole time we were out there, like an hour, there was, nothing really weird going on. So, yeah, whatever. Maybe I would have had a better time here had I said hi to my neighbors right away, and I didn't. I just kept to myself, focused on anti-gov. I put my rug in my front seat, which I like a lot, or on the where the passenger seat was. I'm gonna give them my passenger seat, force them to have it. They have to work today. I want them to take this friggin' shelf. If they take this shelf, it'd be nice. Um, yeah. I'm excited to move out. Showering ain't that great. It's really not. Yeah, you can, you definitely can feel as good just with a baby wipe. You gotta wet the baby wipe, though. A lukewarm, semi-dry baby wipe is no good. You gotta fill the bag with water, and then once it's gooping water, then it's, really easy to clean yourself. And then, imagine the money you saved, so you don't need a toilet, you don't need baby wipes, or you don't need a house. As soon as you get over that, stove, shower, toilet, that's what a house provides. So if you have another system for all of those, you're good. You just saved $800,000. I don't have any kids. My circumcision was why I didn't have kids. I just didn't trust them. I know what it's supposed to look and feel like, and this does not look and feel right. Somebody's lying. Right? So is it Bill Clinton? Are the liars the American establishment? I've actually haven't accurately assessed that America itself is the circumcision hoaxer. I used AI to study Bibles in other languages, and allegedly they all have the circumcision clause. So that means it comes from before them, even though they deny doing it. Yeah, the AI online isn't very effective. It's like deny and delay. It's what they do. I don't think I've ever had somebody tell me the whole time I've been doing this online, oh, you're right, I agree. They never say that. Or they pretend to agree and then they change the subject. Oh, it's the Zionists. It's a group of people who thinks you're stupid and lies to you. I guarantee they don't believe their lies. It's like you put blinders on a cow. You know that joke, oh, they went to live with grandma on the farm. They died, right? Yeah, there used to be a time where I was wrecked. And it was because, this is honestly why, it's because of the sexual abuse. And it's because those people that sexually abused me were the liars who gave me my friendship and personality, right? And so if you ever get outside their lies a lot, then it's going to feel like you're going into a bad place because that's what they trained you on. But eventually I found how I felt. I found what I really think, you know. Um, that school is deceptive. This idea that you would be an uneducated idiot without it. Maybe, but also maybe they're taking the opportunity they have with you to replace what you were with something they can use. Um, Maybe the hallucinating was because I had spent social time with somebody. It's like the first time in years. I didn't say it, but that was the first time I'd spent talking to someone more than an hour in years. And he was high and drunk. That was his secret. That's why he wanted to talk, because he was feeling good. So, hey, do you trust the lung glue in alcohol? Does not having alcohol and weed really make you a total loner? Is that better? I'm really questioning it. Maybe it was this stuff, the horse dewormer. Hey, if you price wormers, they are expensive. The cheapest ones are like for giant ass animals. So, yeah. Am I gonna miss having a toilet and a shower? Maybe a little, but it's really like the freedom to just be out on your own. The AC. I'm not gonna need AC where I'm going. Where I'm going, it's gonna be cold. I'm literally not traveling to my real destination just because it'll be freezing temperatures when I leave. So I'm gonna be waiting at like the summit, the very bottom, where it's still warmish for a couple weeks for it to warm up, and then I'm moving up north, up to the cooler area. My car runs good. I did the magnet test. It's a little noisy in there. Yeah. Everything oscillating on the roof is an interesting sound. I don't necessarily mind it. Um, yeah. I just have so many things I want to give away. The thing about leaving in a bad relationship with your landlord is they're so funny. Like, they always go like, oh, we'll just garnish his wages. You can't garnish mine. My money cannot be taken. My money is protected from use for a civil debt. You can take it to civil court and get it. That's actually the truth. Is most judgments, over 80% of all judgment money, has never been collected. The people will die with the money unpaid, because it's just hard to enforce. Nobody's gonna let you ruin their life, right? They owe me. I want you to give me every last penny you get until I get that back. That's how they like think it is, but that's not how it really is. They don't let you do that. It's like, do they have diamond rings? Do they have all this stuff? It's like the person is so rich they have diamonds. Yeah, yeah, give me diamonds until it's even. That's fair. But it's like, that's my one car. That's my one house. This is my the clothes I wear. This is what I do for work. They can't take your work tools. They can't do a lot of stuff. So it's like, you want a judgment. What does that really mean? It doesn't really mean anything. So yeah, that's why I'm leaving the way I'm leaving. Even if they get something on record, I just don't care. They were rude. I would rather tell them fuck you than, for real. When I text you going, please text, and immediately you call, I just said, please text. You looked at it, read it, and you gave me a call. Fuck you. I don't have to do what he says. I don't have to do what you say, and you're going to find that out. Because most people, if you work a job, if you've got, really, yeah, you work a job or you're rich, then you can be sued. Then they can get a judgment and just go to your bank and take your money. But my income source is exempt. It's legally, federally exempt. And I think it's also local state law exempt. Um, can't take it. So what I get paid used to not say veteran benefits. It used to not say it at all. It used to just be an anonymous code until they tried, last place tried to take it. They got their rid of garnishment and went in there to try to get my money, and the bank updated it with, yeah, we can't give them any because this comes from a protected source. So here's what they did wrong. Here's what my freaking landlords did wrong. Not answering my messages. I would send them a message. I would be concise. I would say exactly what I intend to say. They would leave it open for days and days and days, and then they would close it without saying anything to me. So what that means is they think I don't have to respond to him. I know he has like things to say, but fuck him. Okay. They got my lease wrong in their records. I didn't do a lease from July to July. I did a lease from July to June. That's 12 months. July to June is a full year. You came in the beginning of July, you leave at the end of June. That's a full year. They put down 13 months. July to July is 13 months. So who does a 12-month and 1 month lease? Nobody I know. But they won't take it back. They literally threaten me as like, if you leave without going all the way to July, which here's the benefits of going all the way to July. I get to watch the Tucson monsoons. That's not bad. That actually can be kind of beautiful. It's just I'll be here for the whole month of June, which I don't want to be. It's the whole May to June period that I know is the worst. It's the hottest and most miserable. So I could go someplace really cool for those months and not have to deal with that at all. So, and even my other plan is to take one of these rainy days and skip town even like early June. Like as soon as we get a rainy day is then drive all the way up to, what do you call it? Then drive all the way up to my storage unit and get that cleaned out. So 3 months. They want 3 months. That's $850 times 3. But after 3 months, that would be all the money I have in my pocket. I'd have all that money just in fucking cash money. So they left me no choice. I have to leave. Yeah, it really was funny. I was leaving 2 months after I got my car. Wow, I've had my car for 2 months. They want me to stay for another 3. Here's the thing. They ignored me, and when I asked them to change, be like, I want to leave at the end of June. Who does a lease between July and July? Their first lease had an error, right? And I tried to bring it up. You know what? They went radio silent. They just completely cut off communication, which is a typical landlord thing when you're doing legal stuff, is stop talking, sit on your guns, and sue them, right? Because if you talk, you give them ammo, right? So don't say anything. And then go with the freaking signature, and then you'll try to win that way. That's the play, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk out, fuck them on those 3 months at least. And they may go, oh, you owe me for those 3 months times 2 and all that. No, I don't. I don't owe you shit. You can get a judgment that says I do. And you can go to my bank and they'll tell you no. Yeah, if I had $80,000 in savings, you could probably get that judgment. That would probably happen for you. I have $0 in savings, and every penny I get is exempt. You're not getting anything. It's a term called judgment proof. It's like you can get a legal judgment. It's like imagine going to a homeless person. Give me that quarter they just gave you. Give me that fucking quarter. I want every quarter until you pay me back. They don't let you do that. You know, they'll be like, they have to have over a certain threshold of personal wealth before you can steal it. Do you see any of my videos doing good? None of my videos do good. They do good when I pay them only. When I pay them, yes, all of a sudden the likes and views come in. But if I don't pay them, they'll give me likes sometimes, but no, they sell them separately. When you go to buy likes and views, you can buy views or you can buy likes. You can buy more likes than views. That's a fact. You can buy more likes than views. You could have something, I've had that happen before, yeah, where you have more likes than views. Had that happen a lot. So it's all fake. Like the people you think of as famous foot the bill to look famous. And the way that you could do it to make money is you pay the publisher, pay the advertiser, pay to look famous. And then you do a tour and you charge a lot for your ticket, right? And so it's really maximum fooling them. How much can you fool them? You'd be amazed what $1 million does to grease someone's wheels. We can't see your stuff. It looks like you're not popular. Here's $1 million. Wow, I feel really differently about you now. You just mega paid me. Now I care. That's how it is. Hope I'm not on the microphone. Am I on the microphone? I'm not on the microphone. So, yeah. This is one of those reasons I take resentment at people thinking I'm not good or not famous or not popular. It's because I didn't pay them. I haven't done what everyone else does. So, do you notice all these art things are this person slowly putting together one piece and wow, it's so great, and it's really mid or bought. It's what someone thinks an artist is, and then I'm doing what I do, and it's is that good? I can't even tell. Well, it's way better. It is. Holographic speed painting is a different type of art that's better. It is a lot better because this idea that I have to line by line create the thing is not correct. And I'm pulling everything out of nothing. I'm pulling everything out of emptiness using a portal technique, right? Wizard shit. And some people can recognize it. Not all people can do it. So, yeah. Anyway, am I going to stay? I could stay until the end of July because then I'd get to see the full monsoons. And when I leave, it would actually be starting to get cooler because I'll be hitting the fire season. But the other thing is where I want to go is Mount Shasta. If you want to meet me in Mount Shasta, you can go there. You'll find me. I'll be hard to find in Flagstaff. You're probably not going to find me too easy. But yeah. Sedona is going to be hard to find me. Maybe if you had a plane and you knew what to look for, you could find me. But I've had that happen before where I piss off rich people online and they try to do things like buy the park I'm at and stuff like that. What they didn't get is I don't obey the rules. I went back there anyway. and all the police knew what had happened, so they just ignored me. They're like, that's his victory. Yeah. So I'm going to have to give back my tower, my internet. I will call and get my 5G back up to max. And then I'm going to give my internet box back. So that'll be fun. I have to give my keys back too to the post office. As soon as I give that box back and my keys, I'm really leaving. See, if I leave, I save, it's almost over $2,000 if I leave. So um, I'm going to do that, you know. Uh, the costs aren't that much more because if you buy enough water and you buy enough food, um, what happens when you get to your campsite is you can sit there for 2 freaking weeks. No problems. And then you're showering once every like 2 weeks or whatever. That's save a lot of money. Here it's like I'll be paying the $850 isn't even the electricity or the internet. It's really like, wow. It's really almost $1,000. So I'll be saving almost $3,000. Yeah, I'm gonna go turn my internet in and get rid of my mailbox and all that. It was fun, but it's over now. Yeah. Don't piss me off. See, here's what they could have done that wouldn't have made me mad. If when I said, please text me, they texted me back, or when I said, hey, remember when you filled out the first lease wrong and you needed me to re-sign it? Well, that second lease, I didn't notice it said July to July. That makes no sense. I want to do July to June. That's 12 months. A full year. You start from the first, end on the first. That's a year. Not you start on the first and then you go to the 31st after the day it had started. That's a year and a month. No one does 13 months. They all do a year or whatever. And so, but they didn't want to talk. They're like, we'll just push them into the fucking lease. Because they're thinking, where's that money? Remember when that accident happened? Some dude crashed into my neighbor's house. It is still like that. The apartment complex has done nothing. What they did is the Tucson people, the people who I can tell you where I live because I'm gonna be gone in a couple of days. I bet anyone who could try to drive or fly in wouldn't have the time to do it and look for me. Right, I'm gonna be gone. So Tucson sucks. South Tucson. All scammers. Scammers who hate white people because this land was taken from the Mexicans. Oh yeah, they hate white people. Um, I might go to like, I was thinking of living in South Dakota. Something with more trees, something cheap. South Dakota has that thing where it's like inexpensive, there's lots of trees. New Rapids is really nice. I like the idea it's called New Rapids or whatever it is. Because that's a name I've used for myself before. Uh, Dakota. It'll definitely be cold. I couldn't camp there year round, but this idea that the lease supersedes your need to be a human to each other is actually wrong. And if you try to pull that shit with me, you're going to find out. Because most people have jobs, most people have some source of income. You can't live in a place like this if you have Social Security disability. That would not pay you enough to live here. And so they're thinking he has some sort of income. And nope, my income cannot be garnished. So they were unwilling to bend over the lease to be nice people to me. And they kicked the guy out. The guy who this dude had a car run into his building and he became homeless. The apartment complex did not give him a hotel. The apartment complex basically said, you're shit out of luck. And he had to move. So, and they still haven't fixed it. Like that amount of damage, you couldn't have like a crew in working every day. You would have had it fixed in like 3 days or so. It would have been expensive, but Instead, it's like weeks have gone by and it's the same pile of debris. They haven't put the fence back up. It just like sucks. So fuck them. I heard them try to blame the tenant. Go, so the tenant didn't. The tenant did not hit his own fucking house. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna leave. They're gonna lose those 3 months of rent they thought they had, and they can go get a judgment. They can have everything. Oh, he owes us all this. I'll never pay it. Judgments here are good only for 5 years. Do you know I don't plan on owning a home for 10? So, and even if I own a home under the certain threshold required for the judgment to be good, right? If you own a home of certain value or less, they can't put a lien on it. So I could own a home that I'm paying off slowly that they can never get anything of. A civil judgment's not enough to put you in jail. There's no such thing as a criminal contract violation. Yeah. People can't press criminal charges. The Attorney General of the state has to decide to press criminal charges. And they're impartial, so it's like, if they don't feel like an actual crime's been done, it won't be my problem, which is what I expect. I expect they'll look at it and be like, you shouldn't have freaking bug tapped his freaking stuff. So, yeah, I got photos of the pipes, the rusty ass pipes. I got photos of, all this stuff. I'll be leaving. Probably be healthier for me to never shower here again. I got one free shower in fucking Flagstaff. So I'm gonna go to Sedona, camp out there for 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna drive up to Flagstaff, use their shower, and then go up to like near the Grand Canyon land and camp out there for 2 weeks. It's gonna be way better than here. Yeah, my my transit has a pretty good suspension. The thing that surprises me, like, it handles speed bumps really good. I've been in SUVs that handle speed bumps really bad. This thing is like nothing happens. It's like a cloud, it floats. And when you turn, it really turns powerful. It's like a strong turning radius. So, yeah. Yeah, that's my last long vlog. Why my landlord pissed me off. The bug taps, not listening to what I say. I tell you things and I write you things and they go utterly I like ask for a reply, right? And they just don't say shit. Mark my ticket completed even though I freaking had things to tell you, right? Should you have 900 properties if you can't take care of them? If you can't devote the time and attention into your properties, should you have that many? If a tenant has an issue and they want to talk to you and you don't have the time to write back, you have too many properties. That's going in the review. Oh, it's going to look horrible. Here's when the accident happened. Here it is 2 weeks later. Here's my freaking Wi-Fi detector detecting bugs coming out of these things. Here's this story, that story, that story, that story. It's going to look bad. They may not even know I'm going to do that. If you're wiretapping hundreds of people, probably won't have a clue. So, yeah, I could stay till July. That's $3,000 down. I don't want to be here for the monsoons. The monsoons are nice, but we're really talking like it's just a bunch of rain. Yeah, I'd rather go after the money. They can freaking lose. They're gonna lose $3,000, and they could get a judgment. That means they have to buy the lawyer, buy the legal fees, show up. And then they get a judgment of what's it good for. They can't take any of my money. I won't pay them. You want to renew it after 5 years? Nothing's going to change to the point that I'll pay them. Less than 1% of the people, like, I'm not like Air Force or Navy. I'm Army combat unit. You know what I mean? I did things that were so hard. I had my roommates die. I had more than one roommate die. Right? I had real, like, bad happenings happen that changed my body. That's why I get paid. It's not easy. It wasn't easy. Sucks to live through. Wasn't fun. I don't make more than a doctor. I cost about as much as as a soap dispenser annually. Annually, I cost about as much as a soap dispenser. So you can pay for me, but because it comes from the government's like, I can't, unless it's criminal restitution. But criminal stuff, you can't do a default judgment with criminal. If you want to get me on a criminal crime, they have to find me. And they have to give me a chance at the trial, which will have a very different result. When I'm actually there and I get to say what I think, yeah. So, yeah. Mistakes I made in my last vehicle. Putting crayons on the dash in the hot sun, bad idea. Fucking got crayon into my engine. Not my engine, but into the fan blades of the AC. That sucked. Yeah, I had to fix it. This is how I fixed crayon in the AC, is I let it get really, really hot again in the sun, and then I turned it on, and then I kept it whirling while it cooled. That's how I fixed it. Yeah, my crayons melted and got into my AC ports. Freaking chunked up my AC. So no crayons in the sun again. I'm excited. It's going to be cool. I do have more stuff coming today that I have to wash and hang to dry. So it's like tomorrow I'm going to leave. As soon as I get paid, as soon as I see that my new paycheck is hit, then I'm going to do it. Get out of here. It's going to be nice. Yeah, a lot of money is protected. In Arizona, they protect $5,000 per account. So if you want to save more than, if you're like worried about a judgment and you want to save, you have to put $5,000 in each account. And for my type of like veteran benefits, they protect the full benefit. The only way you can lose benefits is for alimony and child support. Your children um, are living without cash. They can take your money for that. Yeah. But they'll also pay you more for that. Yeah, if you have people that are dependent, you have to pay them out of your system. You'll make more. They'll give you more money for that. So, yeah, I will never pay back these places. Oh, you signed a lease. You didn't treat me the way I wanted to be treated, and you thought you could fuck around and find out. Because my type of profession, the profession I was a legal expert. I was a legal Nazi. I knew all the rules. I know all the rules now. I know what they can and cannot do. And they did things they can't do. I could definitely countersue for. The only thing in their favor is because I'm mad about circumcision in the law. I have not done legal recourse because I just basically am done with the law. They just pissed me off. But it's like I'm done with the law and they can't come after me. So it's like, see, I'd be paying them 3 months of rent, 2 months of rent. I'd be paying them 2 months of rent And they just don't want to do that. They keep their opinions to themselves. Right? And then when I'm like, I told them months ago I'm leaving in June. I'm leaving in June. I'm leaving in June. Just now they're like, your lease says July. Well, the first lease you filled out wrong and you had to get me to re-sign it. It should have said June. And they've gone radio silent again. Hey, please text me. They call. Please text me. Here's a call. You can't text me when I ask for a text? You want to call. Okay, well, I'm just going to fucking leave. You can miss out on all the month's rent and you can pay your legal fees and get a judgment, and then the judgment will fucking expire. Or I'll die having not paid it. So. And now, because I'm leaving in bad terms, I can just leave whatever I want in the house. I'm not going to throw anything away I don't want to throw away. They're just going to be a pile mountain of trash. Old boxes, cans. They'll take my security deposit, but they were going to take it anyway. Talking to people who've done them before, they don't give anything back on the security deposit. They will find any reason to say you don't deserve it. So, like, here's my problem with this whole situation. Some people are in it just for the money. Some people are not in it to provide living spaces for people. Oh, I want to have a bunch of cute little residents. I want to take care of people, give them nice little homes, right? That's not what it is. I'm going to farm you for cash. You better pay up. It's legal in Arizona to withhold rent for things, so it's like if I have proof they have bugs, which I do, then what are they going to do? It's going to be a public bad review. It's going to be a message to the Attorney General. It's going to be a bunch of stuff, so. Yeah, South Tucson, do not rent in South Tucson. They are all like lease scammers. That lease is a binding contract and they want you to follow it or else. Well, my income can't. There's, less than 1% of the population has served in the military like I have. So you're dealing with a special protected group of people with a special protected type of income source. You can't take it like a wage garnishment. You can't go to the VA or the bank and be like, this is what he owes. I'm sorry. This stuff has been protected for how many years? 50 years. So they're moving further away from landlordism. The landlords suck. They do. Oh, they have 900 properties. Why is rent expensive? Because they barely divide their corporate holdings enough. And then all of those people who own those properties together have like a higher owner that is the same person. So they just look separate to this public face, but in private it's the same super group owning it all. All to make more money. Why is money an effective slave tool? Because they print out your debt and tax it, and there's none for ordinary people. So the people who chase money become extremely powerful. People will do anything for it. Anything you want on earth will be done for cash. Even like media preference, judges have to run for office. What judge doesn't want $1 million donation? Hey, we're gonna make you win, but you have to listen to us when we want this deal done. That's how it works. They let it. The way the word of God is about circumcision, it's the same way the government is corrupt. It's like no chance war only. So yeah. I could stay here and watch the monsoons, but I think instead I'm just gonna leave. Fuck them on the last month they thought they had for me. Screw you. do something else. I'll catch a rainy day and drive up to Shasta and get rid of my storage. I need to cancel that storage anyway. It's been like paying $60 a month for years. Like 5 years I've been paying $60 a month on that thing. I need to get up there. I might do it in June. Yeah, as soon as there's a nice rainy day, man. As soon as it's like, maybe I can drive at night, right? Drive at night and then get a hotel in the morning. They always have late check-ins. That sucks. Yeah, part of the problem, I mean, the soonest I can get into like wet territory is like, what do you call it? Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe is when it gets cooler. And then take Lake Tahoe through California. That's not a bad idea. I'm going to research that right now. How long is it to Lake Tahoe? Because if it's less than 8 hours, Shasta's a long way away, like 14 hours. So it's 2 whole days of driving at least. A day and a half. Yeah, if I still did like Adderall or whatever, it'd be nice. You could just drive all day, at the night take some Addy, and just keep driving. But yeah, they shouldn't have put bugs in my fucking shit, because I know they did. One day I left with the stove on. 2 days later, they had given me a fire extinguisher. Come on, you're not even hiding, you're watching me. And it's like, they're trying to push me for the last bit of rent. They should have said, my bad, the lease said July to July. That instead they get back with, you can't violate your lease or you're going to owe us 2 months and lose your deposit. Okay, you're worried about that deposit, $500. You're worried about $500. How about you lose $800 and $800? Which they are. And you have to pick up all my fucking trash. Thank you. Right? Less than 1% of everyone else has a job. Or they get money from something that, can be garnished. Mine can't be garnished. They thought of that, right? Why can't you garnish veteran benefits? One, they're extremely hard to get. You have to be legit. I don't tell them I have an issue. They find it in the medical records the government has that says that. The second thing is, the people who are VA, like, there's a veteran court. In my state, there's a veteran court. If I were to actually be convicted of a crime, I would go to a special court that specializes in veterans. Why? Because a veteran is raised to a different moral legal status. A veteran has abilities and powers and responsibilities that far exceed an ordinary person. And powers. I'm talking about DNA tampering. So, like I said, I ripped a metal sign off a fucking bunch of metal screws like it was paper. So, yeah, that's why the veterans have unique statuses. Because how are you going to take someone with a head injury and be like, oh, you didn't do exactly as they can? You can't even read what I write you. Why should I have to care what the details are? That's the thing. They can't even read what I write them. And they want me to care about their stupid lease. Okay, fuck you. You're worried about you think you're going to get any money from me? They have 99% of everyone else. Yeah, maybe. Maybe they all have jobs. You're working a job, they can garnish your wages. A portion of every paycheck will go to pay them off until it's done. Right? Not me. The money's protected. Been that way for 50 years. It's when the World War II veterans were getting old, 1970s. Yeah, they all had veteran benefits then because they were like, this shit sucks. Seeing people die, being around explosions. Nobody should have to live through that stuff. And if you do, you can have problems. So, like I said, I cost less than a soap dispenser. They wanted to push it. They wanted to say, oh, you owe us. I know I filled out the lease wrong. I know I filled it out the first time and the second time. I know you asked to only text, but I'm going to try to push you into it anyway. Okay. I said, I want to receive a text. I don't want to call. And you call right that second. They see it 5 seconds later and give me a call. They said, fuck him and what he wants. All right, fuck you too. Go ahead and pay the lawyer and pay the court fees and go in there. That's more money you lost.